Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, we are getting ourselves set up here. Slowly but surely. All I got to do now is get my blue plastic thing down and get our spray booth just a little bit closer. Put on my special zoom lens so that I can zoom right in, which is what I like to do. And I guess most of this stuff we're going to have it rotating under power, and but the larger ones I won't. I'll just turn it by hand. Oh, speaking of painting photo etch, and how appropriate. Chris from Pebble Creek reminded me about spraying the parts while they're on the fret. In fact, I was watching him yesterday. He was doing his 1/200 scale Bismarck, and he was actually doing that. He was spraying the parts on the fret. And I keep forgetting. I nip the pieces off, and then I stick them down on the masking tape, and it would have been so much better if I had have, nipped a lot of it. Like, say, these larger ladders, they had, I believe, 5 connections. Well, let's say I was to nip off 3 of them and leave 2 just to hold it in place. And then all I have to do is just nip the final 2 after it was sprayed on the fret. It would have been so much better. And what I could have done is, possibly... Of course, then I'm going to be getting parts painted maybe that I don't want painted. Didn't we go through this before? Anyway, I thought it was kind of interesting, though, when I was watching Chris do his Bismarck. He was doing what I believe were little hatch covers. He's taking them off. And I could remember when I was doing those on my Bismarck. It's funny, certain things you remember really clearly, and other parts, you look at them later and you think, I don't remember making that. Anyway, yeah. All right, let's, what do we got here weather-wise? 21.7. Yeah, hey, I think it's a little warmer than it was yesterday at this time. But we'll talk about that later. And as far as the sunrise goes, I'll insert that later. And there's a couple of other inserts that I want to put in that I think are kind of important. So let's get ourselves recomposed here and get our 77 shook up, what's left of it. I think there's going to be enough. I don't think I need to thin it down. You can sort of tell by the way it kind of rattles on the inside of the jar. At least I can. It doesn't sound thick, it sounds thin. Does that make sense? Anyway, yeah. There's no rollback, so I can't say let's roll back. Let's just finish getting ourselves set up here and get our special zoom lens on. By the way, for you camera buffs, this goes from 24 millimeter to 200 millimeter. So that's why when I'm way back and wide angle, I can just get right in there. It's a great lens. I really like it. It's not a fast lens. I think it only goes, well, at 200 millimeter, the most it'll open up to is 6.3. That's pretty slow, but it's sharp. But in today's, sensors that are really good at high ISO, like that camera's really good at high ISO. It's not a real big deal anymore. Yeah. And let's just stop yapping here and get reset up. Just a quick update here. You remember our friend Gabe who has done the 1/200 scale sailors for the ships? Well, he's finished his Santa Maria. And he sent 3 pictures yesterday. I'm just going to quickly insert them here and thought you might like to see them. Congratulations, Gabe. It looks really good. Okay, I put on the 24 to 200. And for those of you who are camera buffs, I took off my 14 to 35. That's this one here that I probably use, I'm guessing 80-90% of the time. It'll go considerably wider than what's on right now. Now, I was looking at these here earlier, and I don't remember having the problem of them not staying straight up and down. In other words, perpendicular. I'll move you in. Yeah, I don't remember having this problem before. I suppose if I had have used, like an alligator clip or something, and just grab them just by the corner, maybe that would have worked out better. But what I'm afraid is going to happen is that now I don't have any paint in my airbrush yet, but let's just see if it's going to blow it over. Oh no, that's going to work. Oh, okay. Maybe my fears were a little bit premature. Okay, let's get our paint going here, and we'll zoom back out. All right. We don't need to worry about these ladders blowing over. They're already blown over. Okay, are we ready to go here? This one here. I might have to straighten them up a little bit just before I start to spray. All right, now we're going to be needing the 77, which I just took into the back room on the Yamato table. Is the paint shaker now. I got it off my kitchen table after it sat there for a year, maybe over a year. Okay, we got it. And we'll use a little pipette here. Now, am I going to be ready to go? I don't have my gloves on yet. Now, I did get out on my bike yesterday, and it was cold. Well, cold if you're not pedaling. Anyway, I wore my jacket, and it was windy, very windy. It seemed that the wind was in my face when I was going, and the wind seemed to be in my face when I was coming back. I guess it was probably because it was a side wind. Anyway, I had a good time. Okay, it's always nice to be able to bleep out all the nonsense while I fight my sweaty hands into these rubber gloves. Okay, I just want to make sure I got everything about as ready as I can get it here. And I think I do. One more sip. Okay, I'm good now. And we don't need this yet. Why am I having trouble getting myself organized here? Oh, here it is. Okay, now we're going to sample from the top more or less. We shouldn't need too much here, but I know you can't see it from your angle, but the reservoir is about halfway to the top there, which would probably indicate that it's, I'm guessing, a third full. Now we are going to waste a lot. very little of this is actually going to end up on the part. Most of it goes through the part and out the other side. Okay, so we got that. Put our lid on for evaporation. Are we ready to go? Yeah, that's going to go. And we're going to turn our fan on and get ourselves moved over. Okay. Do I have everything now? I don't see any photo etch glinting out of the tins. Well, I think we pretty much got it. Yeah, we'll let those dry, and then we'll put the macro lens on and take a nice close look. At least that's the plan. Okay, here we go with another update. If you will recall, in yesterday's episode I was saying that there's probably only a 65% chance that I'm going to be getting the Yamato, when I'm done the Iowa here. Well, that was before I saw this. This is Peter from Oz Scale Modeling's Yamato. He just finished it. And when I saw this, I got, you might say, pumped again. That was the spur I needed. I would say there's probably about a 95% chance now. Thank you, Peter, for putting that online and showing us. Well, I knew you were gonna, but that's the spur I needed. I think there's a real good chance I'll be getting it now. Even if I don't finish it, I'm looking forward to starting it. I mean, after all, I put the Yamato table in the back room. I gotta put something on it, right? It may as well be the Yamato. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better at the moment about this. So, thanks, Peter, and congratulations on a beautiful job. Okay, we got all the parts cleaned up. The reason I put very slight pressure, I remember mentioning this about 3 years ago, but when I tighten this cap down, or this part down, I always put just a little bit of, you might say, tension on the nozzle, so that I know that it's going to be fairly straight. Then when I can feel that it's, getting to the place that it's going to be as far as it's going to go pretty quick, well, then I'm not going to push anymore because it's not going to make any difference. But I think that it just sort of helps to center the nozzle. Now, maybe it doesn't make any difference. It might be just an idea that I have, sort of like an old wives' tale. Okay, and lately I've been just snugging it up just slightly tighter than I could with my fingers. Just a little bit. Not very much. Just a little bit. Now, this is not a tutorial or anything on how to do this. I know I have said this a couple of times. Getting this part on the body is a lot easier than it is on the Iwata. There was something wrong with the threads on the Iwata, for such a so-called precision. Yeah. Okay, what do I got going on here? Guess I didn't clean that very good, or maybe it was just a fingerprint. We are almost done here. All right. We're all ready to go for next time. Now, our sunrise this morning was pretty much the same as yesterday morning's, and people were coming and going across the bridge pretty much the same as yesterday morning. Anyway, looks like it might be a nice day today. That is a nice day for doing the videoing of my to the Talbot Avenue turnaround and back. On my bike. of course. However, if I wait a couple of days, it's going to actually even be nicer, at least according to the weather reporting individuals. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I think maybe I will give it a try, and if it works out, I'll render it into a video and, post it. But otherwise, sort of iffy. It's still not going to be 100%. You know, what I'd really like is if it was going to be 30 degrees. Then I don't need to wear my jacket. Complaining. Yeah, he gets the sunshine, and that doesn't satisfy him. He has to have hot weather too. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. Well, the sun is trying to shine out there. It's having a pretty hard time. A lot of heavy clouds. About an hour ago, I guess I checked the radar, and approximately maybe 200 kilometers from here, there's rain, big heavy rain showers, and they're moving this way. So we'll see what happens when I get the final edit done and get everything uploaded onto YouTube. We may not be doing our videoing of our bike ride today. Well, there's always tomorrow, right? I mean, the summer is still young, sort of. Although we're into it now. Okay, I'm going to call her quits here. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.